Alright, good evening everybody. System Chalk here with the 100th episode of the Apostle Obsonate playthrough as I upscribe. I'm really excited to see where this is going. So I'm actually jumping ahead and recording another video. I'm going to try and get through as much of this as I can. So let's just jump straight in. We already finished Fort Garrick. We are going to need to upgrade the host again potentially, but we are satisfying Marinette, Our Lady of Wires, and in 30 seconds I'm going to be able to infuse the 7 graces with the true blood of Saint Januarius. So, lots going on. Let's see how far we can take this. So I'm going to jump into the wreck of the Cristobal. A sea beast came to love this vessel, but when she would not return its affections, the sea beast crushed it. Even now, the beast will not leave the ship's corpse. Bedecked as it is with occult treasures, we must dive carefully. So, heart almost certainly here. Storms have lifted the Cristobal from the sea to lay it on a reef, but a wreck with such a sad end will carry a curse, and the beast that once loved it remains there still. So, nothing to do with Dream because we've shattered all of our mirrors, but I'm willing to accept that. Okay, again, more health problems, but this is because we wanted to avoid the effects of the, fascination, so we can take care of that now. I'm going to have 2 health to recover. Unfortunate, but that's life. Oof, and another afflict. Okay, so it's going to eat into my money for sure. Some days are better than others. Sometimes the sky is nothing like a filthy sheet. Sometimes the river runs clear. So the pawn will be consumed in 22 seconds. Alright, I am much recovered. More than that, I'm sumptuous. The sclera of my eyes, the veins in my wrists are aswim with gorgeous serums. I will be the centerpiece for a delight to prove their appetite to enact the grail. So here we can get rid of the fascination right away, and so I will. Nope, we'll still be able to use the vitality. Good. I thought I might have made a mistake there. The only mistake was doubting myself. But yeah, so we're going to put the blood in the 7 graces, and I'm also going to try and delay the host by bringing Marinette to the assembly. Scents and savors must be precisely as the recipe dictates. Only so can I and my colleagues be sufficiently appetizing enough to arouse a pitch of appetite not seen in the waking world. So, Janus' savor. Janus is the god that rose not, but reigns. Janus is the saint that died not, but is dead. Janus is the door between what cannot be and what must be. So, Old and Happy Far Off Things is going to potentially produce Dread. And then we've got the Public Gaze. I've used a follower who's too well known. The Suppression Bureau will hear of it. Again, we're not that threatened by the Suppression Bureau right now. Alright, Marinette always leaves the skin. Sometimes she leaves the bones. If we tell our loyal followers to close their eyes, it's over very quickly. So, without the key holder, this preparation will be in vain. We have the key holder. Not yet enough. Marinette is not yet sated. Well then. Who's next? Well, this buys me time, I suppose. But we are going to need to use a mystique to bring the host back. I should have been paying closer attention. Sailor's strength. We're practical souls, strong and forge. We'll probably be fine. Younger sister. Okay, so we need some knock. And to deal with the creeping breath curse, we need heart or grail. So it seems to me that knock is the higher priority here. So we will add Neville as the first. Okay, that's more health problems. Okay, so this restlessness is more of a liability, and unfortunately that's going to turn into a dread no matter what. So things are starting to run away with me, or run away from me, because I have been a little too focused on trying to get the Vitulation together. So We've got our new level of secret histories. That's good. I'm going to use my health to get some extra vitality just so we can deal with this affliction. We have other ways of getting, getting contentment or dealing with the rest, or the dread, so we should be fine. I'm going to avoid reading these books for a little while, just while I deal with my other issues. All right, the 7 graces and the 3 savors: the salt, the sweet, the sweetest. We who are the choicest of the host shall so anoint ourselves. So the question now becomes, what do I want to do with my work slot? I think for now. Oh, hang on. I am going to need to generate mystique, so let's take advantage of my reputation. Do a sleep painting. I could do the commission. I'm going to have to turn in one of the commissions anyway, but let's try and make the most of it. So I have what was requested. Receive the currency of the secret world, and my patrons let tantalizing information slip. So that will go into upgrading the host, but for now, we will help sate Our Lady of Wires. Marinette always leaves the skin, sometimes she leaves the bones. If we tell our loyal followers to close their eyes, it's over very quickly. We will pay up for the paints. This might actually be worth something. This may also generate contentment, which is good. Ooh, not good. My summoning has been defeated. Our numbers dwindle. So this came from another day battered by storms. We must be close, but the isles are a maddening maze, and the places we seek lie on no published chart. So we'll add the funds now, and I'm going to have to add either Tristan or Valsine. Okay, so we knew that was coming up. Season of Suspicion coming up next, so that notoriety is going to be a liability, and Azim is sulking. So unfortunately, this mystique is useless to me now. I neglected my studies, but I stand a little straighter. So this will help with the dream slot in a little bit. I need to get this affliction dealt with soon. We'll go back to the study with for another vitality. Yeah, this is going to be a really tricky one to deal with. All right, so again, preserving money. Something special. It may provoke a reaction. My recent work is considered notable. I've exhibited the latest paintings publicly. Surely someone will buy something. Okay, so extra mystique. This is great. So there's my contentment to deal with the dread. Extra glimmering. I basically just got our paint back, but that's fine. Okay, let's work on that lantern commission. Okay, we are practical souls, strong in forge. We'll probably be fine. Tristan, if you will. All right. Not clear if Marinette has been sated yet, so let's also add the avid disciple. Marinette always leaves the skin, sometimes she leaves the bones. If we tell our loyal followers to close their eyes, it's over very quickly. So here I'm kind of banking on being able to have some mystique left over. Okay, that's ready for our affliction when the time comes. Well, all right, well, that's, you know, I'm not actually that sad about that. I mean, it's unfortunate that we have evidence against us, but it's not my biggest concern right now. It is preventing the loss of this mystique, which is exactly what I want. All right. So, let's use my reputation to make some more paintings. What have we got here? Wave-lashed and sea-spattered, sun-scorched and salt-stained, but here. Our expedition plans for the next challenge. It will consume funds. I can add funds now, or I could send another follower. So we are fine. I should add more money. Let's do a translation. So the time of division, in which Emira Zara prophesizes the events later known as the Intercalate, when the hour called the Sun and Splendor will be divided. So that's a Deep Mandiac text. So I gotta be really careful with the timing here. It's not at all clear if Marinette is sated or not. Serpent is long enough to coil around a cottage. Its fangs glisten like ice. Probably it will respect the power we bear. We'll bring Enid to make it as high of a probability as we can get. The serpent's mouth is large enough to crouch in. Its tongue is the thickness of a man's shoulders, but almost certainly it will respect the power we bear. Sparabates, and we get a free turn, which is nice because I could probably do with a little bit of a break. Alright, so we do have evidence. I'm going to need to deal with that. But we're going to have a break with the Callagine anyway, so... And we've got all of our health back. So as soon as I can make it back to the Peacock Door, I will. But I have a feeling we're going to need to wait a while on that. I do, however, have some extra mystique to show for it. And no staleness. Cool. What do I want to do with the... Let's do a regular day job. Serpent sorrows, it lowers its great head. Moisture seeps from its lidless eyes. Is it weeping? What does it remember of its eldest sister, whose power we call upon? Okay, we'll do another translation while we're at it. My deeds, my powers, my achievements, and the injustices perpetrated against me. Again, we're not actually going to read the book. We're going to translate it. My actions, of course, do not line up with my intention, but that's true for me most of the time, I think. I am going to ask Jannings for a commission, and then we will try and feed another follower. Okay, Post Rose. Kind of want to be prompt on this stuff because it does take a minute to feed someone. Edge commission. And here we will feed the Silent Disciple. Marinette always leaves the skin, sometimes she leaves the bones. If we tell our loyal followers to close their eyes, it's over very quickly. And a new vial of blood when the time comes. Okay, I think in this case we'll add Saliba to deal with the curse. That should be enough. I don't believe it has any way of blocking us. The real question here is, do I want to do more painting? It doesn't hurt. Yeah, you know what? It'll actually preserve my mystique. Call upon the red grail, which gives life. The red grail's vigor will almost certainly preserve us from the curse. Which curse is this? The creeping breath. So that's going to affect me. I'm debating as to whether or not I should read these works now. It seems just as easy. So the time of division, which Amira Azara prophesies the events later known as the intercalate, when the hour called the sun and splitter will be divided. The sun will be divided that it might not sire children. Still, its children shall be 4 in number, and its children shall be 7 in number, and its children shall also be numberless. The numberless shall open the way for the 7, and the 7 shall consume the 4. So let's see what happens with... Curse shrivels. Our power is stronger than the power that was here. The curse will not touch us. Whew. So I'm assuming I'm going to hear not yet sated. Yeah. So I have a feeling I'm probably going to get fascination out of this book. I would think dread because of the intercalate, but something tells me that I'm going to wind up regretting what I did. Alright, my recent work is considered significant. I may yet earn a living from this, but nothing is certain, so I suspect my staleness has gone up. No! I didn't make that much from it, but... Ugh! That was so dumb of me. I'm not going to make anything out of it, but that's fine. I really just want to preserve the fleeting reminiscence at this point. Treasures lie before us. We'll pay for the paints. Probably won't help me, but... Dread and fascination. Well, that works out. Myra prophesizes of 4 great wars before the second dawn, when the sun in splendor shall rise again. She cautions, sun rises blood, and I foretell how that sun shall rise from blood, yet not the color of the blood, nor the hour of night. She includes a rite that she speculates will be necessary for the second dawn. So we've got the Illuminate Mysteries, which I believe was the final top-tier lore, and we have the Rite Intercalate, which, of course, we've had before. The Menacegate, the Madrigard, the Flower Maker, and the Forge of Days are the gods from light. There is a 5th, but now we know it is not the Watchman. Yet the Watchman shares a secret doctrine with those 5, and here is that doctrine. Okay, let's make sure we get rid of that fascination before it hurts us. The rest... I mean, I suppose the question is, is it really going to hurt me? Well, yes it will, actually. Let's wait a minute before we read that book. Okay. So, we will feed a percipient disciple to Marionette. Okay, free turn, good. My recent work has gone unnoticed. Nothing is sold. Perhaps the work is its own reward. I hope so. And I'm not stale, so... Yay me. I think what I'll do here is I'll take the longest lived mystique. Work with it here. Yeah, I'm going to paint the Fleeting Reminiscence again, although I think that's... Again, I don't know if there's a penalty for painting the same thing over and over again. So we will lose a point of the host, but that's why I'm preserving my mystique. The ship still stinks of the sea. A sluggish octopus crawls from our lamplight. The timbers are half coral. Where are the bodies of the crew? Only one survivor was recorded. Did the serpent devour the rest? We found the captain's cabin. The logbook is here, but its pages are a mass of salt cake pulp. Someone has scratched a closed eye symbol on the desk where it was chained. Beneath the symbol is a hidden drawer in the desk, which we can wrench open to loot its treasures. So, more notoriety. That's just the cost of doing business. Good work, everyone. Callagine was the only one to survive, but we'll have them ready to go. And this is what I've been looking for a while. The frangiclave. There are keys that open doors, and there are keys that destroy them. So, you will see why this is very useful in just a moment. We have the Book of the White Cat, stories brought to Penelope of Gordian by a blind white cat. We have the Book of the Extinguished Heart, a book of melancholy prophecy, and the Writhing Call, which we already had before. Okay, so let's take that Port Noon anecdote. Across the bright far sea, Port Noon lies. Exiles, monsters, and visionaries have long favored the waters around it. Perhaps we shouldn't get too close, but it might be useful to get close enough. Now, I know we're over the time, but I'm actually going to try and push a little bit further on this particular one, because I think we are about to make some really big steps. So my apologies in advance, but this is a very clear decision to push hard. This is the 100th episode celebration. And I'm going to try and show you something exciting. Okay, so let's upgrade the host before we lose him. Recent work is considered notable. I've exhibited the latest paintings publicly. Surely someone will buy something. So more contentment, always good. Probably staleness. My God. Alright, I'm going to work on a commission here. Because at this point it kind of feels like cheating. Season of Suspicion coming up, so the notoriety is almost certainly going to bash us. And then we have all this trouble with Mystique. Oh, that's right, I can't use the Callagine to get rid of the evidence if we're using up the talk verb. Fair enough. I will use them in the explore verb before too long, but... So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I've got all my shattered mirrors, right? Can't go to the peacock door. Well, no more. In my dreams, I know the path through the glass garden to the peacock's door, the most admirable of doors, a door which shines like a mirror. Perhaps with the right resources, I can pass it. So the frangiclave is a 12 knock item. I don't know if it... Oh, no, yeah, okay. So, because it accepts the tool, you have to just know the right tool. So, in addition to mirrors... A tuning fork hum animates the key in my hand. The peacock's door groans in response. Already a sensuous shiver ripples its surface. It aches for fracture, and when it finds that satisfaction, I will enter. I wonder if I can feed the Callagine. I'm gonna guess this goes up to 6, but I'm not sure. Alright, and we have Port Noon, so we can keep returning to this if we want. There's a choice that every immortal must make: enter the service of an hour or return to mortal ranks, or face extinction. The sunny little island port called Noon is the exile realm of the immortals who refused all those options. So we want to do another expedition we can. That is going to generate extra notoriety, which I would rather not deal with right now. So we will leave it be. Yeah, I am going to hang on to the Callagine for a little while. Let's just fast forward so that we can see the events we want. Sorry, I'm being foolish. I should at the very least translate some of these works. Like I said, I was kind of getting eager to show you a couple things. Okay. Are Callagines palatable? No. Alright, sorry Practical Disciple. Marinette always leaves the skin, sometimes she leaves the bones. If we tell our loyal followers to close their eyes, it's over very quickly. And the nectar, one of the flower maker's many gifts. In a brighter age it might have bestowed immortality. In this blighted history, it's still an unparalleled sweetness. When I visited the Red Church last night, they told me, between their clawings and their caresses, that the flower maker had visited but lately with his nectar and his promise. I woke twinned in sodden sheets, with the amaranthine nectar brimming in my hand. I captured what I could of it, only a few drops, but it will be enough. So notice that the frangiclave is not broken. So I essentially have just a 1-minute rotation to be able to keep accessing the peacock door now. Yay me. So again, the hope here is that they actually find the notoriety earlier. It's not the end of the world for me. In my opinion, it's not the end of the world for me even if they produce a damning evidence. Because it's a little easier for me to get a favor from authority now. Got a really tight... Oh, you know what? This Delightful Blood's going to expire before I can use it, so... And Season of Despair is coming up, so I'm in trouble. Maybe Contentment will come out of the painting. Let's translate the Book of the Extinguished Heart while we're waiting for emotions to settle down. Not yet enough. Oh, we now have the incardescence. I'm going to skip over this one for now, again, just because I'm a little conscious of the time. I'd like to at least push this to satisfying or sating Marionette. So we do have staleness now, which is fine because I can throw a bunch of passion into this. And this is how I'm going to preserve this. Okay, still have the tentative evidence. Do I want to use Explore for anything else? Let's leave it... No, I don't have Contentment. So let's take the time and go to the Ecdysis Club. That should get me my Contentment. Oh no, I'm already gonna get Contentment. Oh well. Pay for the paints. I'm going to risk it. Let's read my deeds, my powers, my achievements. Hawkabald of Possend, formerly of the Order of Immortals, called by some the House of Leith, settles scores. Hawkabald boasts of his royal descent and insists that magics of the Forge are more effective when practiced by those of noble blood. And the dancers pass beyond the backdrops. Across them seem to move upon the staircases and drawbridges. Their bodies become smudged with backdrop paint. A growl arises from the audience. Walls of the house. Okay, so that didn't quite work as planned, but again, we're going to have Contentment to take us through anyway. We'll send the Caladean out again just in case I want to get rid of the evidence, but we are going to keep feeding people, so Dexterous Disciple next. And we are going to have to deal with my health. Learn something that will earn me favor once only. So now I can start tending to my health. We will hold off on the peacock door for a little while. Okay, so the audience, we got rid of some of that. We do have, well, we had contentment over both, so that's fine. I'm going to preserve the... I'm going to preserve the influence. And at some point I should try to generate some vitality, but let's take this one step at a time. I'm kind of playing on the fast mode for the time being. You know what? Let's see if we can hire people to feed to Marinette. Posson complains of his condemnation by the Ordo Lemea. He acknowledges that he has undergone alterations after the consummation of that particular delight, but insists that these changes are both elegant and inevitable. Who is the fire and who is the fuel, he asks rhetorically. I don't know if we ever got the furnace paean, but this is the hymn, "The heat sings to the iron. If we imitate it faithfully enough, we will parch our lips and crisp our tongue. But oh, the rewards." Also, my pronunciation on that, I've only ever read that word. So sometimes, well, I mean, you all already know my pronunciation leaves something to be desired. But okay, let's start using, hell, again, there's more books that we can read, but for now, I'm going to try getting the attention of the host for the next little while. Okay, we've got a vial of blood on its way. Good news for us. Although, with my affliction, where I've let the board get really messy. So, no vitality will pay up. Okay, so I've got a fortune teller I might be able to feed to Marinette, and then I'm also going to be able to paint away this restlessness, so I'm not that worried. It's our fleeting reminiscence. I'm sorry if this is... Actually, I'd be curious, based off of this playthrough, whether or not people prefer me going into fast mode here, but really, what we're doing at this time is we're just trying to get to that point. I'm just doing the same step over and over and over again. We're getting the host back up, and then how much time do I have on this? 41 seconds, so I'm not going to be able to paint away the restlessness after all. So this is going to be a pure... maybe not. So again, basically it's reassemble the host, feed someone to Marinette, reassemble the host, feed someone to Marinette. That's one of the reasons why I've kept this on such a fast pace for so long. Although let's get some order back on the table. Okay, so this will turn into Dread, but we don't have a Season of Dread coming up. We do, however, have a Fascination coming up, so can I afford to lose more health? That's the question. Okay, host assembled. Oh, Marinette is sated. Here we go. So, half an hour in. Let's invite our final guest, the key holder. Diseases come for me. Let's actually play a game of chicken with our disease. Let's wait for the fascination. We'll wait for the Season of Visions to pass by before we consume the blood. Oof, affliction coming up. It's gonna be a dicey one. We'll read The Book of the White Cat. Stories told to Penelope of Gordian by a blind white cat. The Aviform Hours, the crow, the laughing thrush, the dove, and the twin kites have been known to meet in the mountains north of Gordian at a place called the Roost to exchange gossip. Penelope indicates that mortals who hear their words directly are obliterated, but claims that her cat goes unnoticed and returns to her with rumors from the Hours meetings. Okay, so as before, we'll take the affliction. Do we have vitality on the table? Yes, we do, so we'll recover there. So we'll let the fortune teller expire. We don't need to feed anyone to Marinette anymore. So here I can kind of afford to use all my reputation. The notoriety is going to go away in a few seconds. Probably don't need to preserve the Caligine here, but I'm going to do it anyway, just as a precaution. Again, we'll pay for the paints. The host and guests, when the signal is given, a great host will assemble, their eyes so wide, their mouths so wide, to feast and be feasted upon, to draw from me the blood of our delight. Our very delight shall lead them in their feasting, and the Lady of Wires shall turn her key. What's the next step? Be a great celebration when our delight proves their appetite. But this is, I feel like this is the one that brings the host, doesn't it? I'll say begin preparations just because I'm not 100% sure how this works. I don't need to worry so much about the mystique anymore, but I'm going to use it anyway. The stories that Penelope claims as our gossip are fragmentary and confusing, accounts of contests where hope and dread and the shadowless empire are used as game pieces, agendas of ruin and remembrance from no known history. The most interesting element is the protective incantation she records at the end of the book, after she worries that the Hours might in fact learn of her spying. So, Velvet Charm. The Velvet always answers no, but we can shelter in that no like beasts in the crook of a tree. We're still going to use the Caligine with the Explore verb. I don't think we're going to study this quite yet. I am going to use my health to help deal with some of the afflictions, though. So, let's combine the Delightful Blood and the Forlorn Blood to dream of the end. I consume the little vial of blood, lie back, and close my eyes. Tomorrow I will be stronger. Combine that fascination with the dread. We will deal with the affliction, but there's nothing to be ashamed of here. We'll fast forward a little bit just so we can get to see what happens with the preparations. And once again, I'm going to paint away the staleness and preserve the influence. I could theoretically be going back to the Red Church to try and get some of this, but it seems just as easy for me to... the first yeah, we didn't need the first fragments of the host. Alright, so what am I missing? Perhaps we use the Vitulation... Oh, wait a minute. I get it. Should use it in a ritual. I'm almost certain we need to use it as a ritual. Alright, let's get some healing in. Then again, I don't have a desire. Unless... Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're just going to pause and think for a minute here. Like I said, it's actually been a very long time since I've done this event, so let's see if we can get any progress. And again, we're at the 40-minute mark. This is basically 2 episodes in one. But I wanted to see... We saw the frangiclave. We made progress on the Vitulation. Let's see if we can cross one more threshold. So... Talk doesn't do anything here anymore. Talking with the Vitulation recipe doesn't do anything for me. The 7 graces are prepared. The 7 graces and the 3 savors. Okay. Alright, that doesn't do anything. So, I guess for lack of another option... Really? Oh, here we go. That's right. We cannot begin the Vitulation without the correct flavoring for myself and for the others of the host. A Vitulation would be a Vitulation without the Chalice Murmurous. We will need the most powerful Grail influence we can muster. There we go. No, without the unceasing mysteries, the Vitulation will not reach the intensity we require. To join with the Grail, our delight must give life and take life, and not be sated. So it is that I am the centerpiece of the Vitulation. A child of the delight's body would fulfill the requirement, but one cannot enter the mansus in triumph when one has committed the crime of the sky. So it is me, and I submit to the binding and to the marinette's marinations. Let's try that again. To join with the Grail, our delight must give life and take life, and not be sated. So it is that I am the centerpiece of the Vitulation. A child of the delight's body would fulfill the requirement, but one cannot enter the mansus in triumph when one has committed the crime of the sky. So it is me, and I submit to the binding and to marinette's marinations, and the 7 graces and 3 savors overwhelm me. And when the first mouthful is taken, almost I do not feel it. Almost I do not feel it at all. Let's do our last few steps. Season of Vision's got me in its snare, but the Fleeting Reminiscence will deal with it. Turn in some finished works. We're just letting this play out. Probably could have read it while the timer was going down, but I at least get to deliver the final works for my patrons. The feast fulfilled, I have been the keystone of a sumptuous event, and even as I am scattered, I know joy. My delight will dwell forever in the chambers of the Grail, as they so rightly deserve. And I will live nowhere at all, where the apple bright has found me. She has gathered my last few fragments to caress and console and restore in her rich baskets of nutritions, and she promises me that sometimes, when she is the witch and I am inside her, she will show me the world again. Congratulations on a major victory. Perhaps 1 in 20 players ever achieve even a minor victory. Fewer still rise this far. We and Janice salute you. And that has been the story of Ike Upscribe, the Apostle Obsonate, fulfilling the feast. This has been an absolute delight to share this with you. I was pretty sure we could get the Vitulation done, and I realize it is 2 episodes worth of video that we recorded here, but something about having the nice round 100 to make the video work. It was a chance for me to also get a lot of work finished. I am preparing to do a special event, and being able to clear out this save is good. So as much as I would like to leave it on the end of the Vitulation, I will just give you a quick heads up as far as where this series is going. I have a few side projects I want to work on for the YouTube channel, and I realize that there are a very large number of you who have enjoyed this playthrough. Some of you have been sitting through this, and in particular, some of you have been sitting through who were really excited to see me reach 1,000 followers, which I realize is a big milestone on YouTube, and I didn't appreciate that at the time. For those of you who've been there from the very start, thank you. Obviously, this has been a big source of growth for the channel, and I fully intend to do a little more Cultist Simulator. I have a few ideas on maybe how I'm going to try and deal with some different preferences in terms of like upload cadence and all of that. But I like now that I have one big playthrough for people to see beginning to end, and I'm going to try and do some more episodes. The one thing I am going to say, though, is that really with all of the work I've been doing, I only have about 2 weeks of runway ahead of me in terms of recording some new episodes. So there should be a big video which will be coming on recently. This is also a very long video, so hopefully some of you do enjoy the longer format. If you don't see some regular Cultist Simulator updates from me, it's probably because I want to get a nice big number of episodes recorded and ready to go for more people to enjoy. But my intention is to come back with a series. If I stop doing Cultist Simulator, I will properly announce that, just to make sure that everybody has an idea. If you want to see some more, I have some ideas about the next ones that I want to do. If you have a playthrough you would like to see, speak up in the comments. If I have already started recording something and there is enough demand for a particular legacy, I might even refactor and start a new one. But one way or the other, there are going to be some more Cultist Simulator episodes, and I want to try and do those as quickly as possible because it has been an absolute delight to share all of this with you. But until the next time, thank you very much for watching. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you've not done so already. And it would be wonderful if we can cap off this playthrough with some likes, some comments. And until the next one, I wish you a very good evening. Dream furiously. This has been System Chalk.